Hi, I'm Rebecca, and welcome to my podcast, Smashing Through with Rebecca Adams. I am so excited you're here on this episode. Topics include life, business, mindset, full of kick-ass content and high energy. Enjoy the podcast, and remember, you too can smash through and keep going always. Do you find yourself people pleasing to the detriment of your own feelings and emotions, desires, dreams, goals, career, all of that? Think about it. Do you find yourself people pleasing? You don't want to upset anyone, you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to, get into an argument with anyone, and you'd rather keep the peace than actually pursue whatever it is that you want. A couple of years ago, one of my friends was getting married and she was in a pickle and she was upset. And she's not a bridezilla in any way, shape, or form. But the mother of the groom was, in my honest opinion, sticking her nose in. And my friend was just getting really upset. She wanted this. The mother of the groom wanted this. And it's like, no, this is your wedding. And I did mindset work with her. So this is your wedding. This is you and your groom, okay? Husband to be. This is your wedding. It's no one else's. It's a bit different when I don't see it as people pleasing, like whatever they're going to eat. So the menu has to be, gluten free, or it's got to be vegan for that particular person, or vegetarian, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Can't expect a vegan and vegetarian to eat meat. So that's a bit different. That's not people pleasing. That is actually accommodating the guests, food and what they want to eat and things like that. That's not people pleasing. What I'm saying is that maybe you have a career that you want to pursue, but you don't want to upset your parents because they want you to be an accountant, or it's in the family that you've got to be a lawyer, but you want to go and be a photographer or an artist or something like that. They can't see your dream. They can't see it. They're not passionate about it. You are, but they can't see all the big massive ripple effect because they are and have tunnel vision on a particular thing, and you don't want to rock the boat and upset them. Do you find yourself not sticking up for yourself, not standing up for yourself, and not being a voice because you don't want to say something to a parent, or you don't want to say something to your partner because you know that they're going to take it the wrong way? Obviously, if you write it, it can be interpreted differently, so interpreted in many different ways. So if they're in a mood, they're going to read it straight away in a mood. Even though you may not have written it in a mood, they will interpret it different. So with the written word, you've got to be careful. So it's easier to have a conversation, I will say, in person or voice notes or over the telephone, so that they can actually hear the tone of voice in your voice as well. But my message for you today is, if you do find yourself people pleasing and you care what people think, and you don't want to be a voice, and you don't want to pursue your dreams, your desires, your goals, who's going to hurt most? That would be you. Because you're not pursuing what your soul is telling you to do. You're not pursuing what you are here to do. You are allowing someone else to kind of get you off course. You're allowing them to control the situation, the conversation, your life, your career, your journey, your path, whatever it is. You can't allow someone else to do that. You have to gain control of your mindset. You've got to really build up your mindset to the point that you don't care what people think. You're not going around people pleasing. You are mindful and respectful always, but you're not people pleasing. You want to travel to Mexico. You want to go to Bali, you want to write the book, you want to be the photographer, you want to work in a store, whatever it is for you. Really, really think about your dreams, desires, and goals. Really think about your life up until this point in every arena. Have you been people pleasing? Are you only doing something for the sake of doing something because you don't want to upset someone else, and you are thinking of them, their feelings more than you are your own? You may actually people please in the bedroom, at a restaurant, at an event, in a conversation with family, with your career. You may not want to go to college or uni, but it's kind of in the family that everyone goes to college and uni, but you might not want to go to it. And then when you're kind of, you people please, you join the college, join the uni for it, and this is just an example, you feel icky, you get stressed, you can't concentrate, you're not sleeping well, you can't do the work, you're getting lower grades, all of this stuff, because you're not meant to be there. You're meant to pursue something else. So my big message for you is, if you find that you are people pleasing in any way, shape or form, and I'm going to give you an example in a minute, then really, really sit down with yourself and start evaluating. What was the result of you people pleasing in that situation, or those situations and those scenarios? Okay. See who came off best, who felt icky, who felt kind of ashamed, who was put down, who was disrespected. That would be you. In every single situation, that is going to be you. Okay. Now, people pleasing. I'm going to give you an example. So when my mum passed away, there were sealed envelopes and she put me in charge of everything. I was power of attorney, executor, next of kin, everything. Okay. So she knew by putting me in charge, I cross the T's, dot the I's, and I don't care people's opinions. I'm going to follow the rules, which are my mum's, because she'll kick my ass. So the thing is that when I opened those sealed envelopes and then my daughter read them after, we sat on my bed and I opened them. Phoebe, my daughter, read them straight away after. So obviously I had a witness there and everything, all of this stuff. And the thing is that there are some things that in those sealed envelopes that were a shock, but it's not about me. It's nothing to do with me. And I took that out. My emotions aren't involved because it's nothing to do with me. I have to follow through with what my mum wanted. These are her last wishes. And I don't care what people think. Not interested. And I followed it to the letter, like to the last full stop, the last period on that page, as Americans you call it period. So the last full stop, we call it in the UK. So the last full stop on that page, I followed it down to a T. And people did get ratty, should we say. They got angry, their emotions, their ego was speaking all of this. And I'm like, I am not interested. Because, and it's not a disrespectful point of view, I had a mission, I had rules, they were my mum's last wishes. I will follow them down to the last full stop, because I am not, I crossed the T's, dotted the I's, and I'm not interested in people's, their regrets or their feelings, or anything. Not about that. I had to follow what was in those letters on that paper. That's it. Okay. So I did not people please for the funeral. We were only allowed 20 at the funeral anyway. But I did not people please because it's not about them. It's about my mum. It's about the wishes. And my mum knew, with put me in charge, I do not negotiate. And I will follow through. And I know, and I'm getting emotional now, I know that I made her proud because I followed everything through. I made sure that we ticked everything, okay? And it's not about people pleasing at all. It's not about anything else. It's not about their regrets or their, anything about them. It was all about making sure that everything was followed through. So even in a scenario like that, okay, if they have guilt or whatever, they have to deal with that and live with that, whatever, nothing to do with me. But the thing is, okay, is that I snip, and I do the scissors with my fingers, so snip, all the emotional stuff comes out of it. It's not about people pleasing. So just know that I lead by example, so I walk the talk, okay, and I always have done. And the thing is that even in a funeral scenario like that, you can still be true to yourself, be true to whoever it is, follow through with everything without people pleasing and without bending the rules and everything else, because it just isn't okay to do that. I have to be able to, look myself in the mirror, which I can, and know that I fulfilled everything that my mum wanted. Her last wishes were done, and it's all okay. And those people will have to deal with whatever they're feeling and emotions and mindset and everything themselves. That's not on me. And that is where the power comes from, flipping the switch from people pleasing to actually being in the powerful trajectory of where you want to be, is that you are not responsible for someone else going off on one. Okay, you are responsible for you. However, in different scenarios, if you are fueling an argument, then obviously, that person's going to react and, all of that. There's different scenarios, but we're going to get back on track of you do not have to people please. You can change career, you can do whatever you want. This is a disclaimer. You have to hold yourself accountable for whatever you're going to do. Your actions are yours only, okay? But you don't need to go around on this earth, along your journey and path, people pleasing and being miserable and being upset. You're not here for that. You're here for happiness, kindness, love, joy. You're here to make memories. You're here to make memories. You're here to show up to your life. You're here to really, really pour into your soul and do what brings you joy and abundance and with flow and ease and grace and style and all of the goodness, okay? So just know you can do it. I'm living proof you can do it with any situation and scenario. So let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I will see you on the next podcast episode.